more can I say?
Top Billin.
All right, Top Billin, let's get down to the brass tacks of the matter. Man, I'm extremely excited to talk about some Michigan football right here. Not going to lie, I waited all this time because I did not want to jinx Michigan football and the success that it was having this year. If you followed my channel in years past, you know the love that I have for that man, Coach Harbaugh, and his ability to coach football. I just think he's one of the most premium elite coaches that just gets disrespected all the time. And it's usually through groupthink. And you guys know how I hate groupthink. So I've been on a crusade against groupthinkers my entire life, and that shit will never change. So salute to Coach Harbaugh. Salute to Coach Gaddis, my man, who I wanted to coach my Virginia Tech Hokies. And that didn't work out there, but hey, he's still there for Michigan, and I think he's going to be doing incredible things, though. So prior to its tilt with Georgia, I want to talk about Michigan's defense. Now, listen, as it comes to this game, I'm not going to mince any words. I'm not going to pick Michigan to beat Georgia, although I do think it can beat Georgia, if you get what I'm saying there. My thoughts on that is Michigan and Georgia are too damn similar, and Michigan will have to be its absolute best version of itself, which would be pretty much being Georgia. And I just think Georgia has a little bit more depth than Michigan. So sometimes depth doesn't come into play. Sometimes it does. I could definitely see Michigan beating Georgia. I'm not going to pick them to beat Georgia, but I can definitely see it. And quite frankly, right, I wouldn't mind seeing something different there. Your man, Coach Harbaugh, in the national championship game, that would be smooth. That would be very smooth there. But all right, so I wanted to concentrate on the defensive scheme and the defensive front of Michigan. I know this scheme like the back of my hand. You guys can go up and down the channel. As far as my Baltimore Ravens content goes, this is the same exact scheme. It's Wink Martindale's scheme from the Baltimore Ravens. My man Mike McDonald, who coached with the Ravens for like 6 or 7 years, obviously learned the scheme under him, and they run it just like the Baltimore Ravens run it. It's a pretty tough scheme to get at the NFL level. So, you know, you got some really good coaching when you can implement that with some of these kids there. So before I go into that, though, Michigan and Georgia being similar, if you look at it from a personnel standpoint, I would say that Michigan has better outside edge players, right? They have the ability to get organic pressure to me. I don't think Georgia has that type of ability. I think Georgia has to fabricate a lot of its pressure. So that could be something that could tilt the favor into Michigan if it were to be a Michigan win. You would have to think about something like that. But Georgia's ability to stifle the run, we know Michigan has to get off in the run game, and both teams to me have similar passing games, although Georgia has better passing game talent as far as the targets and wide receivers go. Although Michigan has some damn talented receivers as well, Georgia just has a little bit more of them, and just all across the board. So you got to think what cancels each other out. What cancels each other out? Could it be that passing attack from Michigan and not having to fabricate pressure schemes and can dedicate more bodies on the back end? Or would it be Georgia just completely stifling the run game and forcing Michigan to pass? I think Georgia could be a little bit more balanced than Michigan, but we shall see. Ain't nothing to it but to do it, and you just never know how these things go in a one-game scenario. So you have to throw out everything that happened prior to then. None of that shit matters. It's a one-game scenario, and literally anything can happen. But these guys are so ferocious, man. They got such great players, just like Georgia up front right here. Obviously, Aiden Hutchinson is the damn man. I feel like I was talking about him like 5 years ago on the channel, even though the channel not even 5 years old. Been talking about him for a long time. He finally put it all together. It looked like he was going to put it together a couple of years ago. Looked like I'm not sure what happened in the COVID year. I didn't pay much attention to Michigan, but this year, man, he definitely put it together. And David Ajabo and Chris Hinton and these guys that they have like that. Donovan Jeter is still there for some odd reason. They got some real older, experienced talent mixed with some youth. I really like it. So if you see right here, man, they're going to try to spread them out and run an empty counter with the QB. So you imagine that it has to be a light box here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, kind of 6 in the box, depending on what they're going to do to try to get that sixth man out of the box. But you can just see the discipline and able to go down the line of scrimmage for these guys. It is uncanny. You see right here, counter down. Now look at that. That was all Aiden Hutchinson right there. Everybody else, right, not getting blown off the ball per se, so doing their 1-2 thing there. But Aiden Hutchinson's ability right now to square up and then stay parallel to the line. He literally turns parallel to the line of scrimmage and damn near starts shuffling, and then he disengages and he's right down the line of scrimmage right there. Georgia has a quarterback in Stetson Bennett who can definitely get off in the run game himself. So I don't know if they'll go ahead and start JT Daniels, right? I know all the Georgia people want JT Daniels to start it. I don't know. So I'm just going to go by what I see. I'm not paying attention to that. Maybe he would start, but it's just like Michigan. Everybody wants the young fella to start, the young 5-star cat, and then you got the McNamara kid in there who's just steady Eddie with it, and you see where they're at. So they're in similar situations even with that. This shit is crazy to me. I love it when they're still in their nickel package. This is definitely a Baltimore Ravens thing here. A lot of people, when they go to their nickel package, they will go to an even front scheme and put both edge players' hand in the dirt. They will still run it like it's an odd front and keep both edge players in a motorcycle stance, which allows them obviously to work severe edge play, meaning all the way out to a corner spot if necessary there. So you'll see that here, the type of hustle that they get. Georgia loves to bend the edge in the run game, and they love to try to get the ball to the edges of their elite athletes that are obviously targets at wide receiver. The tight end is a damn animal as well. The tight end might be as talented as Aiden Hutchinson is as an edge player that they have. So that'll be a good battle there to see if try to get that guy the ball out on the edges here. But you'll see them, my Terps here, motion to empty. You ain't have to do my Terps like that, man. Y'all got to chill with that. Motion to empty here, and then you'll see Aiden Hutchinson, right, on a redirect, and that shit is nasty. You talk about a dude who is going to hustle from sideline to sideline, even though he's not a linebacker per se. So any edge portion of the field is all his there. And they got this Chris Hinton, my boy Chris Hinton from back in the day. Y'all remember me with Chris Hinton? At a 3 technique, Donovan Jeter as well here, and David Ajabo, a top 10 pick in his own right there. So you got Ross back out here as well, still in school. Check this out. Talia trying to throw the ball here. You can see the cat and mouse game. Look at everybody flow. Look at Aiden Hutchinson. Oh my God, a dancing grizzly bear. This big. This dude is ferocious, man. Look at the technique of this right here. He wants him to stay. Look, he wants to stay in an even exchange situation, right? Because Tyon Fleet Davis right here has a two-way go, right? So for two-way go, look what he does. You see him shuffling. You won't see nobody doing shit like that. That is great coaching. That's somebody who grew up, obviously, with a dad who played in the NFL, who was a very great player in his own right. But look at that. Look at the shuffle just to stay parallel and force Tyon Fleet Davis to make a choice, and then he's going down the line of scrimmage, you know. As Tyon Fleet Davis straight out faster than him, but it does not matter when he has the angle advantage there. He runs directly down the line of scrimmage. Great force play right there as well, right? You got Dax Hill here, who stayed out on the edges doing his 1-2 thing right there. That's just complimentary defensive football. Remember, if you're not already, make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss a moment of the edutainment that your boy provides. Michigan, extremely talented up front. I can't harp on that enough. To me, just as talented as Georgia, if we're talking about the first, 15, 20 players maybe or something like that. I think then after that, then it kind of drops off. Or maybe just the first 12 to 15 players like that. Then that's when I think Georgia's depth takes over there. But straight, they can be as good as Georgia on defense. They play a tougher offensive schedule than Georgia, so the results may not look the same, but you always factor that in there. So they're back into that nickel package, like I said before, and what they'll do, which is a hallmark of my man, Coach Wink Martindale, is they'll pull coverage from you. You'll think it's something, and then they'll switch it off. Like right here, you'll see a motion man. It looks like Dax Hill is going to be trailing in man coverage, right? Or he's going to be shadowing him in man coverage. Then all of a sudden they check off of that. Then it becomes zone. So Dax Hill stuck right up in here, and you got Talia Tagovailoa looking to hit it and shoot it right there for an RPO, right? He's got the pass tag on the back of his run call. They're going to try to shoot it there. And then you also get the safety, I believe, R.J. Moten coming down here. So you got a lot of different things you have to account for when you're playing against these guys. They're playing that Baltimore Ravens style. Now look at that. Boom. Almost threw a pick. Right? That's how you trick somebody post-snap. You give them something different than what the pre-snap motion showed. You can see him right here, Junior Colson, calling that off right there, letting them know to be prepared there. And what a young guy like that, being able to learn from a guy like Josh Ross. Ooh, man. There's lots of talent there. You see right here, obviously the run blocking. Talia thought that it was going to get that vacation in the void. You can see Dax Hill set up right there in that area right there, and then you get Moten coming beyond that as well. Really almost fooled him. He almost threw a double pick. They both could have picked it off, right? So that's how you fool them as well. So they don't have to fabricate pressure, but they can mess you up on the back end, and, of course, they can fabricate pressure with the best of them as well. All right, here we go with the fabricated pressure schemes. You can tell that they have their pass rush element in the game right here. You have this cat right here, Mike Morris. I like this kid a lot. I wonder if he'll stay and take the next step next year like we see with Aiden Hutchinson, who took that step, and, of course, a Jabo as well. But, man, you got to think about Pass Rush University. Before that, of course, Kwity Paye last year. Then you had Josh Uche and Chase Winovich as well. So they're putting together some really good edge players between Don Brown's old system and then Mike McDonald's system now. But what you'll have here, right, is you're going to have young Moore right here. He's going to be rolling coverage. And you got R.J. Moten as well. They're all going to be rolling out just so they can get pressure here coming off of the boundary. You got Vincent Gray's going to be coming in. It looks like it could be man coverage, but you put your speed guys out here like Michael Barrett here, right? He's going to be on there. You get all these guys collapsing this way. Chris Hinton as well, and you'll see the entire line flow go. You're going to have the tight end releasing out here, but you see the entire line flow damn near like slide protect, having to worry about, of course, Aiden Hutchinson and those guys back there, and it's just smooth free runner right there. This is beautiful. Oh, check this out right here. They both bluff like they're coming, but Barrett's not coming. And look at that. What really made this was your boy Morris. You see that athlete in him. Right there, you'll see him drop out. He drops out. You do not know who's coming. They're pseudo slide protecting, and there's nobody there for Gray. Look at that. Nobody there for Gray. They flooded that side of the field where there were more receivers at as well, right? And you had to replace there with Moten coming in with the tight end and being able to get his area where Gray was. And Talia doesn't sense it to the last second. And, of course, you got a good athlete like that running down a quarterback. So if Michigan ends up getting that ass whipped, it will be, in my opinion, because they could not slow down Georgia's run game. Georgia will be the best offensive run outfit that, in my opinion, they will have seen even over a Michigan State or an Iowa or in Ohio State. Ohio State may have the higher end talent on the offensive line. I just think that Georgia's offensive line, just top to bottom, is just nasty, and it just fits the scheme that they have there. And those guys are mostly veterans, so that'll be a tall task there. We've seen Michigan be a little inconsistent against the run, although it did very well against Ohio State, Iowa. That Michigan State game, I know that's going to be what Georgia's going to be looking at. Obviously, Mel Tucker, the Michigan State coach, coming from Georgia as well. But look at this right here. They're going to try to run this stretch, and you can see all gaps covered. All gaps covered. Everybody's, look at that, boom, Moten getting in there and everything. These guys will get very aggressive if they don't feel a passing threat here. Now, people are going to be like, oh, it's just a therapist. Don't be talking about my therapist like that, baby. DMV Murph in the building here. But therapists have a very good offense. Very good offense. And Michigan very much stifled these boys here. And they can run the ball when necessary, especially we're talking about average yards per carry. Maryland does pretty good right here. But you can see right here, all guys covered. Mozzie Smith in here occupying a couple of cats, right? Same thing with Aiden Hutchinson. So that's going to leave a a host of people free. You just got to have all gaps covered and out and start to layer it. So you can see the layers starting to come down there with Junior Colson and Ross and his gap right there as well. Never being another man's gap, baby. It's called gapstinence, right? And you see Tayon Fleet Davis having to contend with Chris Hinton coming down as well. He tries to slide out the back door, and then you can see the last layer of defense right there, Moten coming down, and then making them go into a jabo. All gaps covered. That's very sound and very disciplined defense. This one again, they're going to try to run this stretch, this time with Big Penny Boom back here. And actually, this is going to be more of an inside zone. So you'll get Aiden Hutchinson right here. He's just a complete game wrecker. Look. Boom. Inside zone. No, thank you. No, thank you. That's what he said to that man right there. Look at him. Boom. Bench presses the tackle, right? Sends him into a mini coma, so he doesn't know what's going on right there. Keeping it flat down the line of scrimmage. Gobbles up Penny Boom, big ass right there, and sent his ass to the transfer portal. Fuck out of here. Getting to the transfer portal for him, man. What's wrong with you, boy? But look, your man down there doing his 1-2 thing right there. All gaps covered in one, and just a complete ferocious game wrecker in the other. Michigan football. Now, Georgia has a host of great running backs. I like James Cook a lot and Kenny McIntosh kid because both of those guys have superior 0 to 60 speed. Now, if you can run these stretch plays away from Hutchinson and be able to get 2 men on a jabo like Maryland did right here, I can see this being 6 points. Straight up. I will say this. I'm not a big fan of Michigan's defensive backfield as far as pass coverage. So that could be an aspect I think I may concentrate on a little bit later there. If Georgia's able to not falter as far as pass protection there, I think it can take advantage of Michigan's defensive backs with the ball in the air. And I would target in the middle at a nickel spot Dax Hill. I like Dax Hill. I said he was going to be the truth before he got into college and everything. I think he's very good. I just think he's mismanaged as far as his position. I don't know why he's been a nickel back his whole time. He does slide between playing that depth and playing the nickel spot, but to me, he is a horrible nickel back. I don't think he's that good at all at nickel back. I would make him, they're in man coverage, the type of receivers that Georgia has that can play in a slot, whether it be Ladd McConkey or Jermaine Burton and them like that, they would destroy Dax Hill. So I would definitely focus in on a matchup like that as well. But as far as here, you see Aiden Hutchinson not able to go down the line of scrimmage. Tayon Fleet Davis able to bend the edge in this stretch game right here, and then they wash David Ajabu down. You can see here Ajabo. Oh, look at that right there. Immediately washed down. Edge has been breached. Let's go back on that. I just want you to focus on that. Edge breach. Get to the outside right here. If this is Georgia or James Cook or somebody like that, as talented as Vincent Gray is, as RJ Moten is, coming down to make this tackle, I think James Cook can make a miss, take it to the house. Same thing with a Kenny McIntosh or Zamir White. It's just better run game talent than Maryland has at its disposal, at least right now, right? We'll check for Maryland next year with some of the running backs that are coming in.
What more can I say?
Top Billin.